Good morning, everybody. I have arrived at Raven Rock State Park. Listen, it is totally quiet. I have the whole forest to myself, other than those 4 deer earlier and a squirrel and some trees that were rubbing together, making squeaking sounds. That's another thing you're going to need to get used to hearing. Well, I just like being in the forest by myself. This is just completely awesome. No distractions and very peaceful. Yay me! Let's just go through the different things that are important and what you can learn on a shakedown hike. Okay, you've got to plan your food for trail. My food weighs about 4 pounds for a 5-day hike. Most other hikers' food weighs much more than that. I don't eat as much as they do. There are some hikers that think that you do not need to have a navigation system and that you can simply go by the blazes when you're on the trail. And that may be true, but if you're a beginner hiker, I would not recommend that. When I hiked before, I accidentally got off trail 3 or 4 times on my hike, and I was also around other seasoned hikers that had even done the trail before, and they took the wrong turn. The only way they knew how to get back, besides the fact that they said it felt wrong, is that they used far out to get themselves back on trail. Okay. You're going to need to think about how you charge your equipment, your phone, your headlamp. I have to think about charging my iPod and my watch as well. The freezing cold temperatures will drain your battery bank faster than you want it to. And if you take it and put it in a sleeping bag with you, it will last longer. Look at the knots on this tree. Wow. I've never seen that before. You need to think about your safety kit. Make sure when you pack that, you have packed some pain relievers and some Benadryl. Benadryl is in case you get bitten by something. Puppies come with and without hoods. And so what you need to be thinking about when you say, oh, well, I don't need a hood, I've got a beanie to keep my head warm. Well, that doesn't take care of your neck. Did you get a buff? Whether your cold weather jacket has a hood or not, a buff is really helpful. It's helpful for so many reasons. It will keep your neck warm. It will keep your ears warm. You can pull it up and keep it over your nose and your mouth. You can use it as a bandana. You can use it as a head, scarf. Those buffs are awesome. I would completely recommend having a buff. I love them. As far as your clothes are concerned, you need to learn how to layer. So that if you get hot, you can peel a layer off. You may start off in the morning with your rain pants on, not because it's raining, but because it's windy and cold, and that's going to keep the warmth in. And you have your hiking pants or shorts on underneath. You may also start your day off with your rain gear jacket and have a t-shirt and a shirt on underneath. This morning I have on a short sleeve t-shirt and a long sleeve shirt on top of it, because it was 55 when I left the house this morning and it was a little chilly with the breeze. I knew whenever I started hiking, I was going to get warm and I might want to peel a layer off. Oh, an Indian tree. Let me show you. You see this tree? Native American Indians used to bend trees like this for directional purposes. Isn't that cool? I don't know how that one got that way, but that's pretty cool. I like it. I carry a waterproof pad, a little tiny waterproof pad. It's about 2 inches by 3 inches in my side pocket here on my pack, as well as a pen. And the reason I do that is because I take notes. I want to be able to remember the names of other hikers I have met along the way and where I met them, and other things that might happen that day on trail. But you also can use that for when you're crossing a hornet's nest. You can stop, pull that out, write hornet's nest. You know, if you've passed the hornet's nest, you can, however many feet from the hornet's nest, leave a note saying hornet's nest ahead and put a rock on top of the note. Other hikers are used to this, and they'll look down and read it and know a hornet's nest is coming up. You can also do the same thing for copperheads, rattlesnakes. I left a note once for a trail angel that left water on a very dry trail and said, I don't know if anybody's ever thanked you, but I had 3 ounces of water left and no water source in sight, and I'm really thankful that you had left gallon containers of water, you know, for the hikers coming along. His name was Nonnie Duck. It was in Virginia. He also shuttles. Well, I had to call him for something, and he said, are you the Nonnie that left me a note on trail about the water? I said, I am. And he said, no one has ever left me a thank you before, and I can't tell you what that meant to me. There you go. Did you make sure that you packed a headlamp or a flashlight? And did you have an alternate source of light in case one of those went dead? How are you going to feel about pooping in the woods? Have you learned how to dig a hole, the right dimensions, and how to cover up your poop? Leave no trace. It's important. Oh, a little baby frog. He's only an inch long. What a cutie. He might not even have been an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Look how pretty this trail is. Beautiful. I am having the best day. I've switched trails. There's an east side and a west side. So this is how they mark the trail on this side. It's got red. This is good training. Lots of roots, lots of rocks. Tip for your food. I've shared this in other videos. Make sure you taste test everything, your snacks, your electrolyte drinks. Test everything before you go on trail or a shakedown hike. Test it beforehand. You may take one bite and go, nope, I am not eating this. I learned that the hard way. There were several nights I just did not eat because I did not like what I had packed. It sounded delicious, but it was not. I went to a dietitian nutritionist recently to make sure that I had gone over my choices for food and that I would be getting enough protein. I did not get enough protein when I hiked in 2023. She wants me eating 80 grams minimally of protein per day and also wants me drinking 80 fluid ounces of liquid. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I've been trying. I've been upping it. And those are the minimums. I found one protein bar that I can eat that I don't have a reaction to. If you followed me last time, you know that I broke out in hives when I tried several different kinds. I can eat Built, B-U-I-L-T. Comes in lots of different flavors. It's more like a candy bar, but it's got a lot of protein, it's got a lot of carbohydrates in it, and it's got sugar alcohol. So you can only eat one of those. Maybe some of you can get away with 2 of those a day because sugar alcohol will mess up your stomach. But I have tested and tested and tested them, and I haven't had any reaction at all. So I've been really grateful to find those. This trail is so pretty. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Oh, wow. Look what I just found. What a treasure. I don't have trekking poles. I think I'm going to go up this direction and try and cross over those big rocks. Let me see how this is going to go. If I have to, I'll just take my shoes off and cross. Oh. Okay, so I came from over there. I just came up here. I was going to cross there, but I don't have trekking poles to help me get over that safely. So I am just going to climb up that. It's about 3.5 feet tall. And then get up that second one, then figure out how to get over that, and then go on. Well, I couldn't get over that right there, so I had to go in that deeper section and just walk across that way. Alright, I'm going to get my shoes back on. Well, that was fun. That was kind of tricky. First couple of steps were pretty slippery, and I don't have trekking poles. I don't know if this is the right way to go or not. I can't see a marked trail. Okay. It says the horse trail goes this way. I don't see a marker. Okay, 5.19. Okay, this is where it's important for you to pay attention to navigation. When I finished going over that, there was no marker on where to get back on trail. So you look for the well-worn path, which is not always the answer, but usually. And I came down about 1/10 of a mile, and there's the marker. That's a little annoying, but okay. Anyway, I'm on the right track. That was fun going through that water. There are 2 women behind me that got where I was, and they went, "How'd you get over?" So I had to tell them, and they said, "Well, we're just going to go right here." I said, "Well, I was too short. I couldn't make it without," and the rocks underneath that water were just, you could see that they were really thick with algae, and I knew if I fell, I was going to slip and go in the water with my backpack. So that's why I just waded through it on the other side. Well, they're standing there staring at that, wondering if they can make it over. I have tried doing water crossings with my shoes on before, and I'm not saying that this happens every time, but one time I did it, and it was so slippery underneath that the lugs on my shoes, even though my shoes were not really worn out, I slipped and fell in, and I don't want to do that again. So I didn't get hurt, but I just don't. That was not an enjoyable experience. And that water is surprisingly cold. Well, that's my big adventure for today. Yay me! So let's talk navigation. I backed up to redo this so I could share this with you. I'm at a crossroads here. You can go this way, and there's a trail that leads off that direction. Or you can go this way, and there's a trail that leads off that direction. This is where you got to be still for a minute. Check far out before you go one way or the other. Look at that path. It looks exactly like that path. So when other hikers tell you, you're not going to get lost, just follow the well-worn path, that is not always a hard rule. That's a general rule. What you have to do is you have to pick a side, and you have to look down as far as you can see to see if you see a marker. So that is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go this direction for just a little bit to see if I see a marker, and if not, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go the other direction. Okay, well, sure enough, this direction has the marker on it, so I know I'm going the right way. If you go down more than 1/10 of a mile and you do not see a marker or a blaze on a tree, you really need to question whether you're going the right way. You may be. Maybe the markers are further apart, but you need to be cognizant that you may be going the wrong direction. You know what I just realized? I didn't put on my gaiters. Imagine that. Yeah, I've got junk in my shoes. Okay, tip. Make sure you get some gaiters. They're going to help you a lot. If you don't know what those are, Dirty Girl Gaiters has these things that you put down on the bottom of your ankles that attach to your shoes to keep the rock, dirt, and debris out of your shoes. Really helpful. I have them. I wish I'd remembered to use them. That was a 12.08 mile hike. That was a little longer than I anticipated. Anyway, 27 pounds. I guess I'm up to 12 miles now. And that's the end of my training for today. I hope that you will send me your comments. And if you would consider hitting the like and subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Y'all take good care, and I'll see you in my next video.